Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Treya Tarot. This is the collective reading for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. I'll be using Morgan-Greer today. I've already shuffled the cards, so I'm just going to cut to get it started. In the meantime, if you resonate with my readings, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload a new video. And I hope that everyone is doing pretty well. And if you watched my reading yesterday, I hope that you were able to bring yourself into the practical changes you are wanting to make in your life. Just saying. All right, for today we have the Sun, the Ten of Swords reversed, the Sun reversed, and the Emperor reversed. Whoa. Okay, so there's something here about something that might have been hidden or secret. The Ten of Swords reversed to me tells me this is the shifting of an old wound or hurt that may have happened multiple times. The Emperor, the Ten of Cups reversed, the Page of Rods, and the Two of Rods. Let's see what we have. This top row here makes me feel like that there's a theme of a wound that has to do either with the father, so it could be a father figure in your life, or it could be a partner that that you had a lot of energy invested in, especially with that Ten of Cups. There's a couple ways this can show up. This can either be the past overturning, so you realizing that something wasn't right, wasn't true, wasn't what you thought it was, ending the cycle of putting yourself through that pain and moving on from an idea you had or a false sense of completion that was present in your life. Or on a collective level, this could be about giving up the fantasy we were talking about yesterday because it's causing you pain, because it's not true. That Sun reversed. There's an idealism that's come up yesterday and in this spread that needs to be transitioned into reality. It needs to be flipped on its head. So wherever you are being idealistic or thinking that you can always wait for the better thing, that's what needs to be turned. It needs to be brought into present day, present moment. You need to work on what actually feels, enlivening to you. Those Rods cards are all about passion, and they're all about, this one's about courage specifically. So you have this sort of let the fantasy go and start to think about what is real and manifestable. There's a better word for that somewhere, but that's what came out, so I'll go with it. What you can manifest in real life, real present day life. What are we working with in reality? And the reason I keep asserting this idea of reality is that there is a distinct difference between reality as we know it and experience it and actual reality, which is a much more spiritual process, in my opinion. So we're being asked to kind of work on multiple levels here and both make something in the physical realm a reality, as well as process an emotional experience of that, pulling yourself out of your mind space or your imagination into something that feels a little bit more solid, and all the while still understanding that none of this is solid the way we experience it. There's a bit of a floating happening here. And I mean that in that we sort of have to float multiple truths at once and multiple untruths in a way. All right, the Ten of Rods. That's about other people's burdens. That's about putting down the legacy you were given because it's too heavy. And then this is about putting something to rest, but it's reversed. So something's coming out of hiding so that you can leave a fantasy behind, which was definitely present in yesterday's reading. Something's coming out of hiding to show you clarity on something personal that you have held with you for way too long. And It's coming out of hiding so that you can change it, so that you can change your focus from the potential, from the fantasy, from the imaginary to reality in a way that actually feels very productive, very energizing. This is not a process of feeling the disappointment of letting a dream go. That's not what this is. This is about feeling that reawakening that happens when you realize you can make something real instead of just holding it in your head forever. This is about changing, you changing, us changing in general, from constantly, imagining a better experience, a better life, a better world, into making one happen. So please don't take this as a sign of disappointment. Neither yesterday's reading or today's reading had that sense of, you're just going to be dwelling in your disappointed hopes. No, this is about deciding that you're not going to spend your life imagining a better world. You're not going to spend your life imagining a better relationship or a better job or a better career. This is about, what can I do right now to make this happen? How can I be a proactive part of my own experience? I'm going to pull 3 more. See if I can arrange these so that they don't look a mess. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So the Page of Pentacles, the reversed 6 of Rods, and the reversed 9 of Cups tells me that we were kind of keeping ourselves, we were holding ourselves back by constantly imagining a scenario or scenarios that weren't necessarily ever going to become real. And we couldn't take action on them, and we couldn't actually work towards those goals, but we held them in our minds. So this is about those thoughts, those realities, those messages coming through, and finally accepting the fact that what we were thinking about or daydreaming about or visualizing isn't necessarily the real thing that will bring us what we want. It's time for us to admit that if it hasn't happened yet and we haven't taken physical action, then it's probably not the thing. So if you are hovering around a particular person, idea, goal, anything like that, and it feels far-fetched, too good to be true, but you hold it in your mind and you hold it in your heart, hoping that you will, run into a chance to have it, instead of paying attention to what is happening in your actual experience, what you do have, some sort of creative input over, then switch your focus. Because we have to switch our focus, bring it back into reality. Let the fantasy go. Yesterday and today, both. Let the fantasy go and work on what makes you feel alive in real, present moment, real time. Work on now. If you can do this, and we can do this collectively, because this is a bigger picture, I feel, than just us in our individual lives. If we can do this and work together to build real lives that feel actually good to us, we can change everything. We can change how we support each other. We can change how we, feed ourselves and what our work lives look like. We can change our stress levels and our health. We can do all of these things simply by paying attention to what's actually here, instead of constantly hoping for a better thing to show up and take us out of wherever we are. And obviously take this within reason, because in a situation where you're in, dire straits, sometimes that fantasy is life-saving. So I know that. So please don't put yourself in harm's way from anything that comes up in a tarot reading. But when it comes down to it, there's this question of, are we going to make it real? Now's the time. We have to make a decision. And we will. Yeah. No more nostalgia. No more past. Let it go. There's something very clear and almost King of Swords-ish happening over yesterday into today. And I wonder what tomorrow will look like, mostly because this energy seems to be pulling through. But there's something about ending, very, very decidedly ending any reliance that we have on the imaginary, except in the way in which it feeds the present moment. You know, for instance, visualizing for manifestation and, living in your imagination are two different things. So understand the difference, work on what you're working on in life, in real present moment life. And you should be on a good path here to create something for yourself. There's something else that wants to come out, but the words are just not there. There's a feeling. There's a feeling of, it's my time. I worked for this. I don't want to miss it. And that's the thing that I think needs to be conveyed. There's a very incredibly positive feeling that's underpinning this change. So it's not so much about feeling disappointed. It's about choosing not to rely on a fantasy as an outlet for all of your stress, choosing not to rely on, an imaginary reality so that you can just keep going through the drudgery. This is about changing that. And in whatever context this might resonate for you, or resonate with you, you can take decided action. And it seems like that's the thing this is all pointing towards. Take action on something that makes you feel alive in real life. All right. Have a good day, everyone. I hope you take some steps forward, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.